How's it going, everybody? Hope you're having a great day. No, I am. Today's going to be a video a little bit different because I've gotten a lot of questions about how I do this, how I do that. So today I'm going to show you how to add text to a photo to create awesome thumbnails. And let's get in here and I'll show you the program I'm using and all that good stuff, and we'll go from there. Welcome back. So glad you could stick around. Now, like I said, I've gotten a lot of requests for how I do certain things in my videos, how I make this screensaver, how I make that thumbnail, yada yada yada. So I've been playing around, and what I thought I would do is show you how to do text like this on your photo so that you can have a nice thumbnail shot. And as you can see, it appears that it goes behind the car and all that, which technically it does, but I'm going to show you how to do that. Now, the program I use is called DaVinci Resolve 14. It's a free download. They currently have the new version out, which is DaVinci Resolve 15, which I have on my laptop, but I'm so used to using 14, I wanted to make a really quick video to show you how to do this. Now, I'll be going through it fast, so if you have any questions, shoot me a message or just stop it, rewind it, and watch it again. You know, it's not that this is not that complicated. But what you have to think of, if you haven't done video or photography for any length of time, you got to think of layers, or like if you're thinking about photography, think of it as a stack of photos, or like this stack of CDs. Okay. What you do is, let me get my program open and I'll explain it better. But I use DaVinci Resolve, so I'll click on that and open it up. And I'll go ahead and shut that down. Click on New Project. Go up to the top left corner, up here where it says File, click on that, scroll down, Import Media, and that opens up all your folders where you store everything. Then I'm going to go to my pictures because that's what we're working with. And I happen to know that the picture I want is in this folder here. Scroll all the way down because that's where my photo is. And it is going to use, let's see, where are you? Right there, that one. And it brings it up here. Well, as soon as you import it, it switches over to Edit, okay? Drag it down into your timeline and let go. We're going to move this bar back over to the beginning. Now, like I said, think of it as layers. This is the original photo, okay? So we're going to be adding text to it. So now what we want to do is scroll down in our toolbox over here and find text, drag it over, and place it on top of that picture because that's where it's going to be. The text is going to be on top of that photo. Double click that and that'll bring up your inspector to where you can change it. So we're going to change it, and in this case I'm going to put my channel name in it. Yep, left off the C. Duh. Where'd you learn how to spell? Capital C. And as you can see, it's really small. Can't make it out hardly. So we'll go down a couple sections, and right here, size. Just grab it and drag it and make it whatever size we want. And then we can change the font. I'm going to use Agency FB for this one, but I don't like how that looks. I want it bigger and kind of slanted. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. I still want it just a hair bigger. There we go. Well, we don't want that because it's covering up everything. We want it to be behind the black car, behind me, and the red car. So we got to add another layer. But first, if you visualize that, if all of this is behind the car, then you're not going to be able to read it or even make out what it is. So we need to change where it's at. So scroll down just a little bit. You see anchor, position, zoom. So what we want to do is we want to change the position. If we use this one, this does left to right. Okay. We don't want that. So we want to click on this little circle arrow that resets it. Or we want the Y factor. Click that and drag it to where you can still make out most of the writing, but it's behind the car. I actually want to come down just a hair. Okay, so that'll look good. And I have learned from doing this that we need to change the way this looks a little bit. Plus we're going to add a box, okay, text box. So we're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom where it says background. Click on the background color. We want the same color as the text, so we want to go white. Click OK. And for this demonstration, we're going to use the amount of 7 for the width. That's the size of the line that's going to be around it. We don't want a big one. So now there's no line. So where is it? So you got to click height and drag it to the right. Now you see the line starting to show up. Figure out how big you want them, and you can go as big as you want. But I wanted to basically highlight the text. Well, you see it's going off the sides of the photo. We don't want that. So now we come down to width and drag that to where it's where we want it. And you can see it's kind of tinted. Well, if we leave this as is, it will show up tinted on there. So go to the opacity and take it down to 0. Now everything's perfectly clear. But like I said, we can't leave it like this because it's showing up over everything we want. And we're going to have to add another layer. But before we do that, what we're going to be doing is what's called a layer mask. We're actually going to be cutting out a section of a photo. Right in here, we're going to be cutting out this section so that when we take that out, it makes it appear as though it's behind the cars. And technically it is, and you'll see how in just a second. But since we're going to be cutting out over the car, well, you can't see all the details like part of the mirror right there and all that stuff. So what we need to do is we want to take the opacity of these letters down. So in the same text section, go up and click on video. And that brings up a different module altogether. Click on the opacity and bring it down to where you can still read it, but you want to be able to see the details behind it. Now here's where the extra layer comes in. Go back down to your photo, click it. Make sure it's highlighted. Right click it, copy, right click it, paste. Now it made that same exact image. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that and drag it up above the text. Okay? Well, now you see the text is gone. Why is that? Well, you're hiding it, is what you're doing. You've got the original picture. Let me show you. You've got the original picture. Then we put the text in. Then we put the third layer on it. Okay? If you look at it, it looks just like we haven't done anything, but we know that text is in there. It's actually hidden behind all this stuff. So now what we're going to do is actually cut out this photo, erase it, whatever you want to call it, to reveal the text. But we actually want this layer to be invisible, if that makes sense to you. So we're going to go back up to opacity again and take it down to 0. Well, when we do that, see how the text starts coming back through? That's because we're making that top layer disappear, making it invisible. We still want to keep that highlighted. Go down to the bottom of the screen, click on color. It brings up this. Okay, we'll come back to this in just a minute, but for this section we want to go right here. It's a little box that looks like 4 arrows pointing to all different corners. Click on that. That makes the picture larger. You can use your thumb wheel to zoom in and out as you need. So we'll zoom in to right about here for it to be good enough. Okay. Now we've got to create our layer mask, and what we're doing is we've got the layer, but we've got to create the mask. Okay. This little window right here looks like a circle with 4 dots on it. Click on that. That's called the power window. I mean, there's all kind of different options for zoom, rotate, everything, but we want to click on the power window. That brings up shapes. Like if you was going to use a square or a rectangle, you could use that. Just makes the process quicker. But since we got all kind of different angles and stuff we're going to be working on, we're going to use this curve. And what it does, it brings up like a pin. See it on my black Camaro? It's just a little pointer. So you got to visualize this. Anything that we put inside of a shape will be cut out, okay? So what we have to do is visualize that invisible layer, that invisible photo. And that's why it's important to have another photo that you can actually visualize underneath the text. So here we go. Just pick a spot, it doesn't matter where. And what I do is I normally click somewhere before what I'm cutting out. That way you can see real clearly the lines that you want to follow. Right? There we go to the mirror. Click on that. Back down to the windshield. And you don't have to be exact except for where you're going to be cutting out something, like we want the text revealed. So we want to be sure to click before and after and follow that line. We want to be as precise as we can. You can come back and change it later if you have to, but the better you do it the first time, the less work you have to do later, okay? See, like right here, I could go up to here if I wanted to, and click there, and then come back. But the main thing is since we want the text section to be revealed, we need to follow the body lines of the cars pretty close, okay? And as you can see, there's going to be some that will be behind me, so I have to cut myself out. So we go over, click on the shirt, just follow the outlines of the shirt, and then when we get right there, we don't have to really worry about it. Except for the neck area, go to the neck, boom. If you mess up, just hit Control Z, and that'll erase that step and go back to the next one, okay? Matter of fact, I messed up. Control. I want to go to there, there, there. And just follow the lines of whatever it is you're wanting to cut out, like I was saying. Then we gotta go over to the car, because there's more there. Text is going to start right about there, so we're going to go up and just follow the outlines of the car. Just keep doing this until you get everything you want revealed cut out. Okay? It's not that hard. And then I'm just going to click on the hood of the car. Right here there's a section of line that I want visible, and then there's a section of line right here that I want gone. So what I do is I just come over to the car, click there again, go up to the above that white line, click it across. Oops, one too far. Go to right there where my arm is, up, back over to the car, back down. And once I get that, I'm done. I just come over, click the very first dot, and there it is. Now we're going to go up to the top right, and that box with the 4 little arrows in it, again we're going to click that, that makes it smaller. Go back to edit, and this is where all the magic's going to happen, okay? This was the layer we was working on, so now we're going to make it fully visible again, okay? Now we're going to go back down to text. Go back up to the video section and make it completely visible again. It's behind this layer so you can't see it. Okay, now that you've got everything completely visible, go back down to color, and let me explain this to you. Since we're dealing with video, you have the starting point, which is right here, the green, goes to any changes you make to the end of the video. Well, any change that you make, you have to save. Otherwise, it'll be just the same thing all the way beginning to end. So that's called an alpha output, okay? Well, there's no box there for it, so we have to right click, add alpha output, click and drag to there, and now you see the text pop back up. So let's go back. There it is. That's the finished product. And just so you can see it happen, there's the original picture, there's the text that we put on it, and then here's the photo that we actually cut out. And now you can see it all come through. But just so you can see it in real time, there's that, and there's that. Now we're going to go back to the text. We're going to make it, you can see it's not there. We're going to raise the opacity. That's the layer of the text that was there. Go back up to the final one, and you can see that there's no cutout because that layer is invisible. Grab the opacity, and as I drag it, watch what happens. The cars start to reappear. There you go. That's all there is to that. Now you're going to want to save this, because if you save it as is, it's going to show up as a video. Well, a thumbnail's not a video. So we're going to go back into the color tab to this section you see here. We don't want all these lines and dots and stuff in it, right? Use your thumb wheel and scroll back out. I'll leave it there so you can see what's going on. This row right here that you selected earlier, go over here to the one that looks like a square window with 2 arrows going around it. Click that and it disappears. Now all you do is you go up to the top again, your selections of choices like file, edit, all that. Click on the one that says view. First one is stills. The first one again is grab still. Click on that and it automatically takes the picture. Right click that photo, that little thumbnail, go down to export and then title it. We're going to name this one CT4. And DPX files is the video files. You don't want to save it as a video, you want it as a photo. So click on that, select JPEG. And then click on the box where you want to save it. I want to save it in my pictures and in this one with the original. Click export. Give it a second to export it to your photos, and then just to make certain that it's there, click on your photos and open it up. Boom, just popped up. And this is the finished product. Well, if you look, you can see, and I should have checked this in the video itself, you can see where it's going to cross part of my arm, so that's not going to work. We're going to have to go back in and change that. So I'm going to delete that, go back into the video, go back into the power window, and then it shows back up. Make it big again, and we're going to zoom into that area. And as you can see, when I went too far and hit backspace, it left that part. So all you got to do is just go back up with your pointer, right? Grab a section of it and pull it back down to make another mark there, because that's your lines now disappeared. So you have to take this back up. See how that works? Now that's there. Pretty simple to fix, huh? And then you just do the same process for anything that's wrong in the photo. And then again, get rid of it, go up to view, make it small again, go up to view, stills, grab still. That's the one we had, we didn't like that. We want to use this one. You can do it as many times as you need. Just make sure you pick your last one to export. Export it. Since we used 4 already, we'll make this one 5. Tell it where we want to export it to, and we want it to be a JPEG. Export. Leave that open just in case we have to make any more corrections. Go back down to our photos. Come on. And there it is. Now we can look at this photo and you can see that the line is behind me now instead of in front of me. But that's all there is to this. It's a very simple process and everything. I know it looks complicated, but after you do it a time or two, it becomes very, very simple. And with that said, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I don't know, I may be doing more of them if there's enough interest and everything. And we'll have to see. But you guys get out there and enjoy your car, and we will see you next video. Thank you very much for watching.